It has literally been a journey of a lifetime. 4 years, 40 countries, 120,000 kilometers and more memories than I can count. Yet, how do you even move on from a relationship that has literally defined you as a man? Why are we willing to leave behind a working thing for a scary new start? And what will happen to this YouTube channel that by now has hopefully become a part of your weekly routine in satisfying your urge to travel?
Iran,
India,
Norway. Well, answers to all of those questions combined with many incredible memories is exactly what this video is about. But as always, we need to start this story way back. I am Joe, and the last 9 years of my life I've spent traveling all over the world. Yet what may come as a surprise to most of you is that it hasn't always been me, my partner Liisu, and our trusted friend Freya that have brought you along to those exotic adventures. You see, in the beginning it was just me, a broke university student trying to find a way out from the lowest point of his life. And to paint the picture with words, I had just broken up with my first true love. A girl who I thought was the one forever and ever. But after the breakup, to get revenge on me, in her words, not mine, she pretty much married the first guy she met. Spoiler alert, this marriage didn't survive its first winter. But still, all of this was enough to push me over the edge. I took a gap year from law school, stuffed my 2 things in a backpack, and left home with a one-way ticket to Australia. Yet what I could not foresee back then was how much this new reality would shape my future. To make ends meet, I worked easy jobs in farms and factories.
I'm currently a tractor operator.
And clearly, picking mangoes or cleaning cotton is much less glamorous than becoming a lawyer. But darn, for the first time in years, I felt truly happy.
Every job has its benefits.
In just 4 months, I lost a ton of weight. Issues with my mental health pretty much fixed themselves. And right then and there, I realized that I am not going back. Months quickly turned into years. I got used to the life on the road, and slowly, being a traveler became my new identity. I spent my days visiting some of the most incredible countries, and although it sounds like a cliché, then about 4.5 years into the adventure, I really thought that I had the rest of my life figured out. Although I was still working a normal job, then filmmaking had become my biggest hobby. I spent most of my free time mastering this craft. And becoming a travel movie maker was my #1 dream. But then, something happened.
Due to the violent nature of the ones infected, the virus is spreading rapidly. Government officials are reporting that there is no known cure for the virus and is urging citizens to stay in their homes.
The world suddenly stopped. I'm sure all of us have our own corona stories, but for me, it meant that the lifestyle I had grown so fond of did not exist anymore. Countries were closing their borders. Airlines went bankrupt. And almost everyone close to me started asking the same question. Was it finally time for me to settle down and start living a normal life? It almost felt like the only sensible option, and I'm pretty sure that I would be a lawyer today if it wasn't for the second main character of this story. Freya.
I'm currently heading down to have a look at a Mercedes-Benz Sprinter van. We really liked it on the ad, and if everything goes as planned, this here is gonna be the first step of a new adventure.
It was never my intention to become a van lifer. I just didn't see it as something that would suit me. But during a time, when no one was allowed to leave their homes, it seemed like the only option to build a home that would move with me. You see, although it did not make a lot of sense then, I just wasn't ready to give up my dream. In the previous 5 years, I had worked 25 different jobs. From counting flower blossoms in a vineyard to driving giant machines.
The dreams are not the same for me.
But compared to other jobs, the only time I felt a sense of purpose was when I was holding a camera. It was my opportunity to help others.
If tourists come and help you keep your nature clean, you can do it yourself as well.
It's now 24 bags.
The opportunity to help build bridges.
We are welcoming people, friendly people, hospitality people, and we love to welcome all of the world.
And talk about big topics without having to choose a political side.
This glacier that you see over there, only 18 years ago, in 2004, was here. Makes you a little bit sad to realize that we're losing glaciers from our planet, and maybe we're gonna be the last generation that's ever gonna see them. But
pursuing this dream was worth every drop of blood, sweat and tears that went into turning an empty van into a home on wheels.
we have finally gotten to the point where we have started packing.
And with her completion, started a brand new chapter in my life. Yes, the backpack and hundreds of hotel rooms had now changed into a steering wheel and an open road. But once again, I felt like I was on the right track. Yet perhaps even more importantly, the back of this yellow van is also the place where our relationship with Liisu began.
He's great. Oh yes, you're there. Hello.
This is your first time doing van life. Is there anything that gives you anxiety? Are you excited? Are you afraid?
To join me on this journey, she left behind her job as a doctor,
I'm excited. I get to live with this guy.
her family, and a luxury apartment. And what did she gain, you may ask? Well, a life without structure. 6 square meters of living space with no bathroom.
I am filling water tanks.
And a man whose idea of personal hygiene was a swim in a lake.
We're not gonna lie. It looks pretty, but it's quite cold. Can't say how many degrees exactly, but it is not warm.
On paper, it looked like an imminent disaster. But against all odds, living on such small space set an interesting foundation to our new relationship. 6 square meters is not enough space for conflicts or secrets. And in the hard way, we learned how to communicate our wants and needs before they turned into fights. There was just nowhere to escape, and so we supported each other in sickness.
She has a fever for the 2nd day in a row.
And in health. Don't get me wrong, it was an incredibly hard process. Perhaps even a little insane, but as time passed, we began to form a trio. Joe, Liisu, and Freya. We started to see the positive in our new lifestyle. On most mornings, we woke up in truly amazing places. At times, it was a forest full of fresh blueberries.
I just couldn't help myself.
Then a beautiful beach. Or a mountaintop with hot air balloons swarming around us. Even having to look for a bush each morning to handle our business did not seem like a big price to pay compared to all of this beauty. Freya had given us the means to experience the world like we never thought possible.
I can't believe it.
Amazing.
The people we met on the road taught us a whole new understanding of kindness.
Love you, man, love you. Okay, go now, go before I don't let you go.
Some of them had never seen a tourist before, yet still they invited us to their lives.
Butter and milk chapati and salty Pakistani tea.
Adventuring like this independently helped us understand humanity as a whole.
But everyone is not bad, not good as well. So it depends upon people to people.
We're all human, we're all the same, we should all help each other, right?
Right.
No matter who was in power or what religion they were from. It was a living proof that in the end we're all people, wanting to share an experience. Wishing for a better life for the ones close to us. It almost felt like a dream once again. Country after country, we kept on pushing forward. It was always the three of us, facing the challenges ahead. Bringing you along to places that many have never even heard about.
Well, as you probably noticed from the title of this video, the incredible and amazing time for the three of us did not last forever. But before we go deeper into that, some of you might have noticed that over the last few months we've been asking more and more from you what are the essential things that make a perfect holiday? What are the things you cannot travel without? And we have listened to your feedback. For pretty much half a year now, we've been in conversation with some of our favorite brands, and it is time now. Those brands have decided to work together with us, and everything from boots to backpacks to shampoos that you don't have to worry about taking on an airplane can now be found in our web store. So go ahead and check those out. And we continue by telling you what went wrong.
The idea that something had to change first crossed our minds when a visa to our next destination was denied.
Just got back from Chinese embassy. There goes our dream.
It literally meant that the road ahead was closed.
We tried.
And Nepal was the furthest country we could travel to with Freya. And as this thought took hold of our brains, we started noticing more and more things that we didn't particularly like about our current lifestyle. It's quite obvious that in hot climates, living in a metal box is not the most comfortable choice. But we also realized that as we went further from home, whenever we parked our vehicle, we could never be 100% certain about our privacy.
It's really hard being a tourist here. Honestly, it's hard.
And safety.
Yesterday, 12 o'clock at night, police came to our van. They knocked on the door. Nobody answered. Then they walked 3 rounds around the van, showed torches in, knocked again, to tell us that they were on the shift that night. If we need them, to call them. We were far asleep.
Small pieces at a time, the magic of van life started dissolving.
And I don't know what to do. I just don't know what to do.
And with heavy hearts, we decided to look at the map. There just wasn't many countries left that we could travel together. Suddenly, it was all clear. Our time as a trio had come to an end. Freya had taken us further than we ever expected. She was the curator of the most important relationship in my life. And thanks to her, combined with each and every one of you watching this video, I can finally say that spreading kindness and awareness through the art of film is now my real job. It has been an incredible journey that we've taken together. And this video here is our final goodbye and thank you to our trusted friend. The frustrations,
I don't know why it always happens to us.
hardships,
I don't know how to solve the visa problems.
highs
I can't believe it.
and lows. More than once we felt like this is the end. That's where it all ends. But somehow time after time, you've shown us that you can just never give up. Yet, what happens next, you may ask? Well, when it comes to Freya, then we took her to an old friend. He fixed her up to be as good as new. We even painted over her scars.
Guys did a very good job. The van is painted, it looks fresh, it looks new.
And now she's looking for new owners who would include her in their future adventures. Yet for me and Liisu, it means that first time in our relationship, it's just the two of us. And I guess once again, we have to start carrying our lives in our backpacks. But perhaps not quite in a way you expected. Because our next big adventure will take us to Mongolia, where we intend to buy 2 horses and discover this country in style.
It's literally the first time in my life I'm riding a horse, but we'll tell you more about this adventure in a month or 2 when it's actually happening. Take care, my friends, and bye.